Hi there. So it's a bit of a miserable day outside. It's just pouring rain, so I'm hoping the light is okay. I have an overhead light that's balanced, but it's not always accurate when it comes to video. So let's see how we get along. What I want to talk to you about today is this a stone paper, and so this is going to be part sketchbook tour, part discussion about stone paper, and with a little bit of a demo with different media on the stone paper. So where did I get this little sketchbook? Well, a friend recommended it to me. This one was bought from Aboveground in Toronto, and just doing quick digging on Google, you can find various companies have stone paper sketchbooks. You can also buy it in sheet form. I'm not sure. I think there are pads available as well. It is super cheap for a little sketchbook. I think this one was about $2, and it's not large, but the sheets are thin but pretty robust. So I've just been putting in my bag along with my other handmade watercolor sketchbook right there. So it's been really handy. I've just taken it out. Mostly do figure studies with colored pencil, because colored pencil on this paper is just fantastic. Now, how is it different from, you might know, Yupo paper? So really these are just types of paper with a very smooth finish that are made from recycled materials, or materials that can also be recycled. So Yupo is 100% polypropylene, so that's a plastic, whereas the stone paper is made from 80% recycled carbon carbonate. So stuff like shells, chalk, limestone are put into production with that, along with about 20% of probably used as a binder polyethylene. So that's what that is. It says it's perfect for wet or dry media, and if you use Yupo paper, you probably know that it's very slippery. So when you put things like watercolors, some watercolors like it because you can wipe off if you don't like something, but that means it's not as stable maybe as you would like. So I tend not to use Yupo for that, and the same goes for the stone paper, because it kind of looks a little odd. So let's go through the sketchbook tour part. So just zoom in a little bit. This was I was doing an online kind of sketch along called World Street View, and they had the theme was different ports. So that's just, this is all colored pencil, and then this is like these gouache sticks on top. So I did a quick gouache stick there. I think, yeah, that's gouache stick as well. And it's got, like, you can smush it about. I'll show you after. And then colored pencil as well. And then colored pencil as a sort of background for the scenery. Again, the gouache sticks here and here. And then this is all colored pencil. And then I'm just trying out different media throughout. And this was for Landscape Art Club. It's a prompt that happens every Thursday on Instagram at Landscape Art Club. And I think this was in Italy. So they usually have 2+ examples, landscape examples for you to draw, and then you can tag them later on. And this was a drawing school. The Royal Drawing School had an online monoprint, and so I did that. It was with using oil pastels. So you put oil pastel onto a sheet and then you draw on top of it to create the print. And that was with Jake Garfield. And I think this is watercolor as well. So it gives a kind of different look to watercolor. That's more of the print, because there's a live model. It was online, but it was they have a model for you to draw to. And this is another one for the Landscape Art Club. I think this is in, yeah, Hertfordshire. And then mostly I just started doing these spreads of people studies when I was out. This was at Dark Horse on Queen's Quay. There's really quite a dashing man. He had the hat and a really nice scarf on. So I drew him and some other people around. This was our local pub, the Jason George, and just did little scenes, figures, my French fries. We always go there for the fries and a drink. And this was George Brown College. One of their buildings is near us. Well, we're actually near the main campus, but they have a building that's all for the culinary arts, and you can look down from above and watch the trainee chefs cooking in these huge kitchens. So just little people studies and little kitchen studies as well. And then last weekend, I treated myself to breakfast at the Patrician Grill. This place has been used in so many movies because it is really what you expect from a 1950s diner. Like, it really hasn't changed. So I had like the coffee station, the eggs, the old-fashioned milkshake blender. Yeah, it's really, really great place. And then I was just doodling one day. I went for a coffee or a tea at Starbucks and just drew people that I saw waiting, mostly waiting for the lights to change at Front in Berkeley. And this was also last weekend. I sat and had coffee at Neo Coffee Bar and just did little sketches of people working there and different things around the coffee house. It's a really nice coffee house, actually. And then I was just trying out this Ecoline ink that I just randomly put on the paper. So you can see how it kind of, if you don't brush it out and smooth it out, you will get these lines, but I kind of like that. And then I put acrylic marker on top, and this was outside of St. Lawrence Market on Market Street. So I just did a quick sketch of that. And then inside St. Lawrence Market, I just did, again, little people studies and little studies of the place inside. And it was not so warm day, but people were dressed as if it was the middle of summer. And then I was doing a Domestika course with Agnès Decouchelle, and she had, on Domestika courses, they always have references and different things that you can check out. And she uses different websites that do color palettes. So they'll do like a random generator or based on photos or whatever. This one was just a list of different color palettes. And so I picked what was closest that was up on the screen to color pencils that I had. I don't know why I did it upside down. And then I used an image from a photo that I took park near us, and use those values. So this would be the darkest value, this would be second darkest, this is the lightest value. And then I just did this little sketch. And then I liked that so much that I just started doing some more. This is based on a photo that it's a little bit of disruption here because my phone was full once again. Is extremely full at the moment. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. I thought I had, but obviously not. So that's this one up close. And there's a list of colors that I used. And I just kept doing it. And I started adding some marker in with it. So I had some Faber-Castell pit markers and a Staedtler marker that kind of matched in with the palette that I was using and the colored pencil that I was using for it. So this is based on a photo that I took in Amsterdam a long time ago. And again, this is an image that I think, yeah, I got this on Pixabay. So it's a bunch of tulips in the vase. I was just testing out the colors to see how closely they match the palette from online. And then this was yesterday. It was a beautiful day downtown. So I was down around King Street, and this is Roy Thompson Hall and St. Andrew's Church. This is Royal Alex Theatre where Six is playing, and just people enjoying the sun, sitting around the park around Metro Hall. So different little figure studies around, and then some context to where it is. And then when I got home, I decided to keep going with the palette theme. And so this was based on a photo through Unsplash. And again, just using the darker ones for the darks and then working to what I assigned for middle tones and the lightest tone. And this was on Unsplash, but it's definitely Toronto Subway. And this was another Unsplash photo that I used somewhere in Lecce in Italy. A guy on a bicycle, and just using the colors that were suggested by the palette prompt. So that's the last page is here. I'm going to test out some things so that you can see it live. But this is what I tested out when I first got the sketchbook. This was ink that I put into a watercolor brush. And so that's how that looks. Holbein gouache from the tube. It kind of has a little bit of a streakiness to it. So if you don't like that, that's something to stay away from. Neocolor 2 goes on really nicely. Again, you're going to get these textures when you apply water to it. Pit pen, acrylic marker, gouache from a pan, gel pen across it, more colored pencil, Ecoline black marker actually changes color and goes to a sort of brown color. So you may want to test things out before you commit to doing something. So Derwent drawing pencil on top of this, which is tempera stick. more tempera stick here, and then water applied to it as well. And then gelatos, Faber-Castell gelatos just over top of that, and just regular marker. So I'm going to use a couple here, and we'll see how we go. So I have a number of things here to try out. I'm just going to do really simple image of a peach. Now the colors aren't exactly right, but that's okay. So this is the gouache stick. Just kind of going around. And then you can sort of smooth it out with your finger, or you can apply some water. I'm not going to do too much with it because I like that texture, and I want to add a little bit more color here. So this is a Tombow water-based marker. Kind of mixing in with this. Here's an Ecoline brush pen, much the same as the Tombow. And again, there's a little bit of wetness still, so that's why it's kind of smoothing out. This is how it looks if it was just on its own, and it's picked up some of the gouache stick. So we'll just let that dry a little bit. But where I really like this paper is for colored pencil. It just goes on so nicely. You can do really, really darks, and just when you're doing sort of a wash of colored pencil, it looks really nice and even. That's why I like it. So still, this is the kind of fun part. It's just seeing how the media reacts. Getting really stuck into it. So I'm going to let that dry for a minute. So keep in mind that this isn't regular paper. It's going to take a little bit longer for things to dry. So just keep that in mind if you have a time crunch when you're out. It's okay when you're in the studio, but when you're out, it might become a problem. So now I'm just going to add some color on top and add some peach. This is Neo Color 2, so it's water soluble. But you don't have to apply water to it at all. And then I'm just gonna put some colored pencil on the bottom. And it's by no means meant to look representational of a peach. I just wanted to get something down to show you. Maybe even add a little bit of a darker color towards the bottom where it's dark. And so this is going over the Neo color perfectly well, because sometimes it doesn't. Just so. I'm fidgeting with it. And I'm just going to add some gelatos on top. Let's see, maybe the one that actually says peach. Just so you can see how it layers. These are the translucent gelatos. Just get it extra dark where it would be. So that's just a mix of different medias on top, and they really layer nicely. Unlike sometimes on regular paper, I find that you can't go over certain neo colors very well with pencil, but this works really well on this paper, and it's just really nice to be able to mix it with your fingers. I kind of like even bringing it off to the edge. So there you go. That is stone paper. So check it out. Ask your local independent art store if they have any, and maybe just even get a sheet of it and chop it all up and try out all your different media on top. It's a lot of fun. Thanks so much. Bye.